If you got outside at all today, you may have noticed some cloud coverage in most all of our Central Coast communities, especially in our coastal areas. Here's a live look outside in Avila Beach. You can see some haze in this area, kind of no matter where the camera is looking, and we're going to see really similar conditions going into tomorrow with that lingering cloud coverage, especially in our coastal communities. Here's a look at our current temperatures. We're seeing 69 degrees in San Luis Obispo and Santa Maria, 72 in Santa Barbara, 68 in Paso Robles, and 67 out at Vandenberg. Wind speeds, nothing too major to bring to your attention, just a little bit gusty out there as you are hopefully heading home on your commute. And for humidity, we are still seeing some high humidity as we get into the later point of this afternoon, similar to what we saw last week, but not nearly as warm. So a little bit of a difference there. Here are highs that we saw since midnight: 72 in Santa Barbara for the high today, 71 in Santa Maria, 75 for Santa Ynez, 70 in Paso Robles, and 69 in San Luis Obispo. So not too big of changes right now, but we'll see those temperatures drop as we go into the later point of this evening. Cloud coverage, we're going to be seeing that stick around through the later point of tonight, and we'll see it clear a little bit going into tomorrow, but you can see most everywhere is going to be seeing at least some cloud coverage tonight, and with that comes some potential for a little bit of sprinkles and a little bit of mist depending on where you're located. So it's nothing that should be impacting you too much, but you may notice that the air feels a little bit damper out there. And as we get into tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see places like Cambria also having some potential for some of that mist and sprinkles for tomorrow. So just keep that in mind as you are planning out your daily activities. And we do still have this beach hazard statement in effect through Wednesday across pretty much all of our west-facing coastline, and that just means that there's going to be some dangerous rip currents and some beach conditions. So make sure you're keeping that in mind, and if you are heading to our coastal communities, making sure you are being prepared to experience that. For temperatures tomorrow, similar to what we saw today: 76 in Paso Robles, 71 for San Luis Obispo, 73 in Santa Maria and in Lompoc. For the high in San Miguel, 77, 74 for Templeton, 73 in Atascadero. A little cooler, more coastal, 60s in many places, low 60s in Cambria and Cayucas, 65 in San Simeon, 66 in Morro Bay, and 71 in Avila Beach tomorrow. For the high in Shandon, we're expecting 75, 67 in Los Osos, 64 for Pismo Beach, 67 in Arroyo Grande, and 69 in Guadalupe, 70 for the high in Nipomo tomorrow. And as we look down more towards our south coast, Goleta's looking at a high of 70, 76 in Santa Ynez, 78 in Solvang, 71 for Vandenberg and Orchid, and 74 at Los Alamos. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast. You can see we have a little bit of a warm-up coming our way as we get towards the middle of this week. You can see low 80s in Paso Robles on Wednesday with some cloud coverage sticking around through at least the end of this week, looking for some clear conditions going into this upcoming weekend. San Luis Obispo 71 tomorrow, 74 on Wednesday, and we'll see those warmer temperatures sticking around through the weekend. Santa Maria 73 for tomorrow and on Wednesday, and we'll see a little bit of a warm up going into Thursday. Santa Barbara 71 tomorrow, 72 on Wednesday, and we'll sit pretty comfortably in the mid 70s for the next couple of days towards the end of the week.